everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of Clinton Conversations.
Hello.
I'm Ava.
I'm Trevor.
And this podcast is just to give you guys a little bit of an inside scoop on what goes on in Clinton City.
Mm-hmm.
So, our first episode is with Trevor Cahoon. Trevor, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm the city manager, so Trevor Cahoon, city manager of Clinton. I've been here about a year and a half, a little over a year and a half now. Started in 2024, right after the first of the year. So it's been a fun ride.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, that tops my 4 months here. 4 months here. So.
Can you believe it's been that long?
No, it's been, it's crazy.
I wouldn't imagine a world without Ava. So.
No, I really make this place so much better. Just kidding.
I agree. I think you do.
They can definitely do everything that I'm doing. So. But part of my job as an intern has been to learn about the different departments and just get to know the city. And because that's kind of what I want to go into. So we've kind of started this podcast to give myself and the city a little bit more insight about what goes down. Yeah. And so Trevor, as our first guest, I wanted to interview you and ask you a little bit about what you do. So Tell us about your role as the city manager.
Yeah, so it's a little mysterious. It feels like the Great and Powerful Oz a little bit. To some people, they think I can do whatever I want. And other people, I'm definitely the man behind the curtain type thing. So, but I'm not. The spoiler is I don't pull any levers to get what I want done. My job, so as a city manager, I report to the city council. So the city council hires the city manager, and they are all my boss. The mayor kind of takes care of me on a day-to-day basis and oversees what I do on a day-to-day basis, but at the end of the day, I report to all of them. And so if I make 3 people mad, then I could be looking at finding a new job. So I've got to do what the council wants me to do, basically. And that's done through a few different things, right? Through the laws that we pass as a city, through different directions from them at city council meetings, and then sometimes just conversations I have with them on, hey, I would like to see X happen. I talk to other members of the city council and say, hey, so-and-so would like this to go on. If it's not a law that we have to pass, but like just an administrative thing. So that's the biggest difference. I'm the administrative figurehead, right? So I do all of the work and the council does all of the laws. And then my job is to be in charge of all of the rest of the staff. So all of the other departments report to me.
And myself.
And Ava, who is our department of 1 in the intern department.
So technically I am a department head.
You are a department head.
I'll put that on my resume.
As a department head for 4 or 5 months.
5 months.
But no, all of them report to me. And that's something I think people find most surprising is that, like, I am in charge of the police chief or the fire chief, right? Where often they're like, they report to you. It's like, yeah, on a day-to-day basis, I am their boss. And so sometimes my kids really like that. They think that they get special treatment on that. But I can get pulled over just like anybody else and get a ticket just like anybody else. I don't wield my power like that. So yeah, that's what I do in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting to see the last couple months I've been working here to see exactly what you do. Because, I mean, from an outside perspective, number 1, I didn't know your position existed. I didn't know you were a person. Yeah. And number 2, you definitely seemed like the Wizard of Oz, like the man behind the curtain. Not that you're pulling all the strings, but definitely like...
Well, it can feel that way, right? I mean, because... city council are regular citizens. That's what the beauty of this government that we have in the United States is just average everyday people that run it. And so then you have me who is a professional at this, and so it can feel as if sometimes it's like, well, they just do whatever the city manager wants them to do, and that's not true, but it can feel that way, right? And I can understand how it can feel that way because, you know, I'll say, hey, we advise you to do this, or we think that this would be the correct action, and they go, okay, we believe you, we trust you, we'll go ahead and do that. But it's my job to fully inform them on everything they do, and that's not an easy task. So
yeah, it definitely takes some integrating and some problem-solving skills. How have you found your position? Well, what would you say the citizens should know about how different your position is from being a city manager to being a mayor or city councilman?
One of the biggest differences is I'm not elected, right? I'm appointed. So in the state of Utah, there's a few positions that can be appointed in cities, and city manager is one of them. Some cities appoint a chief administrative officer. They're similar. They're about the same. But yeah, so I'm appointed by all of the city council, and then I'm in charge of the day-to-day, so I'm here every day, right? So Monday through Friday, I'm here unless I'm on vacation or running after my kids playing baseball or whatever it is. But even then, I'm still answering phone calls while in between innings and things like that. So I run the day-to-day business, and then I report back to the council and advise them on how to legislate. But the city council is a legislative body. It's just like in federal government, where there's the executive, legislative, and judicial. We have our justice court, which we have our judge. The judge doesn't report to me, doesn't report to the council. The judge is the judge. The city council is the legislative body, and they have some executive power with that. But what in our city code, they delegate that executive power, most of the administrative executive power, over to me to administrate things, and then there's a few things that they still hold on that they do as an executive, right? So the mayor, he runs all the meetings, and he makes the agendas and kind of helps the legislative body that way. But the mayor doesn't vote, so he's kind of the mixture between the executive there as well. So that's kind of the biggest difference is that they hire me to do all of the grunt work for the city.
It's been way cool to see the last couple months how you guys work together, and how many nitty-gritty things there are about the city that people don't realize. So that kind of brings me to my next question of what's something that you want to tell the citizens that maybe they might not know about how City Hall works?
Right. I think it's just all of the little things that we do that you just don't realize that we do, right? So, like one example is for our water, we have to go out and do what's called, we have to exercise valves. So they literally go out and they find a valve for a water pipe, they open it up, they turn the pipe off, turn it back on to exercise. So they do that for all of them. And why we do that is because they have little rubber gaskets, and if we don't do that, then the rubber gasket can get stuck. And so if we have a water leak, we might not be able to turn off the water, and then we can't go fix it. And so it's just those little weird things. We flush all the hydrants to make sure the water gets through all, and test them all, make sure they all work. We camera and clean out sewer pipes. Everything from we have all of we go and read your meters. Right now we have touch meters, so you got to touch all the meter boxes. It's not just magically sent back. One day we'll be magically sent back through radio, but right now we go and read all of those meters. And so all those little things that we take for granted don't just happen. There's one person or a group of people that are behind that making that work. So that's my main responsibility, is to empower our staff and employees to do those individual things that I can't do, right? Like I could learn how to do all those things, but I physically can't by myself go out and exercise all the valves and camera all the lines, because there's miles and miles of lines and miles of road that we take care of. So, and that's just one department, right? There's a bunch of things that the police does that we don't see, or our fire department that they handle and take care of, that we don't even know that they do that.
And there's so many different departments, and I think it's a common misconception that since we're a city on the smaller side that we don't need as much as a big city does, but that's completely false. We still need a fire department, we still need a police department, we still need running water in our city, and those all take employees doing a specialty job that I wouldn't know how to do, and there's so many things that happen underground that, I mean, I could work here for years and not know what happens day to day.
Yeah, it's fun to learn all of that. I've been doing city work for about 10 years, and I've learned a lot. I know how a lot of our systems work, and things like that, but I'm still learning new things every day because it's just so complex and so intricate. Clinton's one of the few cities that is considered a full service city, right? So we offer all of our services as a city. Generally, we don't do sewer treatment, and we don't do power, but generally we do all the other services, right? So we have our police and fire and recreation and public works with all of the different departments under public works, our justice court, utility billing, our community development. All of those functions need to be done and need to be supervised. And then we have all the support staff behind it, right? We also need a payroll person. We also need a human resources person. We also need a finance director, right? There's the administrative side of it that is just so complex and so different too.
Yeah, there are so many different positions within the city. And you mentioned that you've been working with cities for about 10 years, but this is your first time as a city manager.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into being a city manager.
Yeah, so 10 years ago, I got my first job at Clearfield City. I was their communications manager. So if you recognize the face or the voice, it's because I was on Clearfield's social media for about 5 years. But I didn't know anything about cities. I didn't know a city manager existed when I got a job at Clearfield. And I reported to the assistant city manager, and it was a whole new thing. I was like, what do you do? I don't think you do anything. But then as I started really understanding and seeing it, it just was so exciting to see all of the things that the city does and all of the unsung heroes of everything that we do at the city. And so that's what made my job exciting at Clearfield, is I kind of got to brag about all my friends that work there. And then after a while, I realized that I love doing communications. I love talking to people and getting that information out. But I really just wanted to be in all the meetings, right? I wanted to I would see meetings about developments, and I was like, I want to be in that meeting talking about how to develop a city. And I would see meetings about, recreation programming, and it's like, I want to be part of that. Or even customer service, right? How to handle customers down on the customer service desk. It's like, I want to be a part of those conversations. How do we make this organization better so that it can serve our residents better? And so I talked to the city manager and I said, hey, how do I get your job? And he said, well, you have to go back to school, because I only had my bachelor's degree at that point. And so I went to school and got my master's of public administration. And then after I finished that, it was time for me to go get experience somewhere else. And so I went to South Weber and worked for South Weber for about 3 years as their it was a community services director. But like Ava was saying, cities still have to provide services no matter how big or small they are. And South Weber, I had to wear 6 different hats. So I was the city planner, the HR manager, the emergency manager. I did public relations. I was the risk manager, and I was over code enforcement. So
oh my gosh.
That was my whole job there, right? And I learned so much in those 3 years. It was like 5 years in the 3 years of how much I had to do and improve. And I loved my time there so much. I loved the people that I worked with there. But then Clinton came open as a job opportunity, and I grew up here. And so I thought, and I only live about 5 minutes away from here in Clearfield. I'm sorry for anybody listening. I love Clinton. Geez.
Sorry, cut the podcast right now. I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
No, it's that was really loud for a second. Sorry, but no, I love Clinton, and my wife and I have always wanted to move back to Clinton, and we are like a stone's throw away from being in Clinton. So don't judge us too much.
We'll let it slide this time.
Thank you. But I put in for it thinking, this is a good opportunity. I don't know if I'll get it since I'm, at that point, just 8 years into the profession. And so we'll see. And they took a chance on me, and I'm really excited for this opportunity. It's been really great to work with all the people here. It's been a fun time. So.
Yeah. Well, from my couple months of working here, it's been way cool to see you do a million different things all at once. But you kind of don't get to, as much as you get to interact with people within the city, you don't get as many opportunities to work with the people directly. And so is there anything that you would like to tell the people directly, or anything you want the residents to know?
Yeah. Biggest thing is that we care a whole heck of a lot.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, like you are the reason we do our job. Every single person here isn't here to make a whole bunch of money, isn't here to, to do anything other than serve you. And that goes into everything we do. So, when I bring forward a proposal to the council of doing a potential property tax increase, right? It's not without me looking for every way that we could save money, or every way that we could, do our jobs more efficiently. And that's what, I want you all to know, is that we love each and every one of you. You're on top of our mind on how to make this place the best place that you can live in, make it safe, make it fun, provide opportunities for development. We don't build anything as a city, but we try to get the best developments in here to help build a community. One of my emphases in my degree was community building, and I feel like that's our opportunity to facilitate how to create a community. Do we create better places for you to gather with your family and your friends and your neighborhood? How do we make sure the parks have the right amenities? How do we make sure that we're providing the appropriate amount of services? And we hear you. We want to make sure that you're safe. We want to make sure you're taken care of, and that goes into everything we do. Sometimes it feels like we don't, right? And I get that, because at the end of the day, things cost money. Things take a lot of time. Things just aren't in our power to fix. As little as like the neighbor's dog is barking all night. Well, we can try. But we can't fix everything, so we just try to facilitate those opportunities for growth and movement. But we love everything that we do. Working with the department heads, and Ava, she's been a powerhouse too. She's been coming in, just wanting and caring about informing people and getting that information out, and it's been really fun to develop those relationships. And yeah, I don't get to see the public near as much and interact with the public as much, because I spend a lot of my time with our employees. I have meetings upon meetings with employees, and making sure that we're providing the services that we need to for our employees internally. But we talk about you day in and day out on how we can help serve you and help you. So
that is definitely true. I've lived in Clinton for the last 13 years, and it's been, I moved here when I was 10, so I really had no say. But it's been great living here, and I have really loved getting to know the department heads, because talking with each and every one of them, you can just tell that they care about this city. They love this city. I was talking with Brooke the other day. She's our recreation director, and she has worked here since before I was born. Yeah. And she just has so much love and passion, and I can say that for every single department head, is they truly love this city.
Yep. Our public works director started working here 3 months before I was born.
So that's crazy. Oh my gosh.
He's dedicated his whole life almost to the city, and yeah, it's a testament to them. And there were some rough years where we didn't have a lot of revenue coming in, and we had to make do. But we're working to make sure we're efficient. That's my main goal, is how can we be more efficient for what we have, because because it's a hard world right now. It's not cheap and not easy. So we get that, and we're doing our best to make that happen. But it's been really fun to kind of show you, Ava, on how all of this kind of works. It's kind of like there are not a lot of people see the city for what it is, right? They appreciate what we do, and I'm not saying anybody's not appreciative, but there's a lot that goes into the day-to-day, and it's fun to kind of show somebody that, where it's like, this is my baby, and
yeah,
isn't it so cute on how we built it, and it's kind of a fun little thing.
It's been way fun to get to learn about the city, and I love that we've started doing this podcast because I love getting to know the ins and outs, and I hope that the residents of Clinton want to know as much as I do about the city, because we love you and we care about you, and we really want to provide the best service we possibly can. So thank you so much for listening to the first episode of Clinton Conversations.
Woohoo, we did it!
Woo, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, Clinton.
Bye, Clinton.